Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert, and this right here is the Huawei Watch GT2e, fresh new wearable launched by Huawei at the same time as the Huawei P40 series handsets. It can be yours for just 160 quid here in the UK from April the 15th. It's essentially just a rejiggered version of the original Huawei Watch GT2 last year, but with an even more sporty design and of course that more affordable price point. So let's get the Huawei Watch GT2e fully unboxed and take a big old tour of all the specs, the features, and compare it with the original GT2 as we're going along, which I just happen to have slapped on my wrist right here. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, as you can see there, I've got the gorgeous, vibrant lava red version of the Huawei Watch GT2e. You can pick it up in 4 different hues. You've got the red, you've got a mint green, which is quite a sort of subtle off green. You've also got white and black if you fancy something a bit more straightforward. I'm guessing the contents of the box is going to be very similar to the original Watch GT2. So you do, of course, have your quick start guide, lovely stuff. And then in this little flappy bit, you've got your proprietary charging dock. So what you get is a Type-C USB cable, and then it's wedged in there proper tight, said the actress to the bishop. And it's great to see that it's actually a Type-C cable which you then connect to the dock, so you don't need to worry about carrying too much in the way of charging equipment around. All you need is the little magnetic dock thing and basically your phone charger, and then that just plugs in there, and then you just plug the other end to a mains adapter or a laptop or whatever you've got going handy. Now the original Huawei Watch GT2 here on the left came in a choice of 2 different sizes, 42 or 46mm. You've only got the 46mm version here on the Huawei Watch GT2e. And there are, as you can see there, a few little design differences between the two. It's not just a straight rip-off of the original. So as you can see there, the actual watch bezel has changed somewhat. So you've got different markings on there. Still nice and flush with the surface though, just as it was on the original Watch GT2. And as before, you've got a pair of push buttons here on the side of the Huawei Watch GT2e, whereas on the original watch they had this sort of classic rounded watch sort of dial vibe. They're now a lot flatter, a lot closer to the surface here on the GT2e. And the other design changes with the actual watch strap as well. As you can see here, now it is directly connected to the actual watch body. But the good news is that here on the Watch GT2e, you've still got your little switch around back, so you can just pull that and actually snap the watch strap off if you decide you suddenly don't like red, or you want to snap on a strap that's a bit more fancy. But I'm actually really liking the look and the feel of this new strap here on the Watch GT2e. It feels a lot more sporty. I reckon that'll be really nice and comfortable and soft against your skin, even if you're wearing it all day long. Obviously plenty of little vents to allow your skin to breathe. Apparently it's manufactured from fluoro rubber. I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is, but if you're a sports enthusiast, maybe you've got more of an idea. And apart from that, no real other design changes here on the Huawei Watch GT2e. It's still a part plastic, part stainless steel frame. It's got a decent heft to it, but nothing too bad. Should hopefully prove pretty rugged, just like the original Huawei Watch GT2, and it's fully water resistant down to 5 atmospheres or around 50 meters as well, though Huawei does explicitly state don't use it for scuba diving, snorkeling, etc. It should only be used for very shallow water stuff like swimming. Okay, so let's see if we've got some guessing the time. We can get the Huawei Watch GT2e all set up and take a tour of the rest of the hardware and of course that software. Now, as usual, to get started you'll need to download the Huawei Health app from the Google Play Store or Apple's App Store, and then just dive into devices and go to add. You need to add a smartwatch, and then it's the Huawei Watch GT2 series, and there's the bad boy right there. Let's give that a little tappy tap. Pairing up, nice and easy. Pair. Pairing successful, job done. Now via the Huawei Health app, you can of course update the settings here on the Huawei Watch GT2e. So for instance, you've got a whole bunch of extra watch faces that you can download and install. Not as many as you get on the likes of obviously an Android Wear OS device, but you've still got a reasonable selection on there, including some quite kooky ones. I mean, I don't honestly know how many drugs were involved in the creation of this one, but I like it. As you can see, there are plenty of others, some of them quite sort of funky and jazzy, some of them a bit more serious and straightforward, quite a few which actually pack quite a lot of information as well. So if you're a bit of a stats hound, you want to know how far you've walked, well for me it's to the bathroom about 7 or 8 times a day, and that's about it at the moment. Now here on the Huawei Watch GT2e, you get basically the same 1.39-inch AMOLED display as you got on the original Huawei Watch GT2. It's a 454 by 454 pixel resolution, so nice and crisp. Even if you get right in there, you'll have to have crazy good vision to notice any individual pixels at all. And of course, because it's an AMOLED display, it's nice and punchy and bright and vibrant as well. You can of course fully customize it as well, so you can have a standby watch face if you want. You can play around with the brightness levels. On the top brightness, it's super eye-searingly bright. Like seriously, you'll have no problem seeing this even in bright sunlight. As you can see, you can change the exact screen on time and all the rest of it. Plenty of other settings you can play around with as well. So you've got built-in Bluetooth support, so you can get connected to a pair of wireless headphones, earphones, whatever you want to use, and actually stream music direct from the Huawei Watch GT2e. So as you can see there, my Sony headphones have popped up on there. So you've got 4 gigs of storage on there, so you can get a couple of hundred MP3s on there, certainly enough to do you for a quick jogging session. You can fully customize what the down button does as well, have it opening up your very favorite apps. So obviously by default it'll do your workout session, but you can do a bit of stress busting, breathing exercises, just open up the music app, whatever you fancy. And there's no difference at all really in the software between the Huawei Watch GT2 and this GT2e. So as you can see, you can scroll along and get access to all of your stats, your stress levels, see how rubbish the weather's going to be, not that it really matters anymore, access your MP3s, and of course this is all fully customizable via the app as well, so you can see exactly which screens actually pop up when you're scrolling about the place. From any screen you can just give that top button a quick push and you'll go back to the home screen, and if you give it another push from the home screen, then you've got access to all of your apps that are installed here on the Huawei Watch GT2e. Unfortunately, unlike a Wear OS app for instance, you can't download new apps onto the Huawei Watch GT2e. What you see right here is what you get, so you certainly can't get a bit of Spotify on there or anything like that. But as you can see, there are a generous selection of health related apps. It's got lots of support for lots of outdoor activities on there, like running, cycling, jumping about the place, all the usual stuff that won't be able to do much of in the foreseeable future, and lots of indoor stuff as well, including of course a bit of elliptical and everything too. So no matter what you're into, you're pretty much covered here, and you can set them up exactly how you like. And you can expect Huawei to update the Watch GT2e with all kinds of other custom workouts as time goes by as well, to suit all kinds of different sporty activities. And as you can see, when you actually start an activity as well, you've got direct access to all of your immediate stats, such as for instance your heart rate, distance covered, time, and all that kind of shenanigans. You can actually fully customize these little readouts as well to display whatever you like, whatever is more pertinent to you. So your average pace, for instance, average speed, calories burned, yada yada. That heart rate monitor can actually be worked continuously as well, so you get a full 24-hour readout of your resting heart rate and everything else. And you've also got the likes of an SpO2 monitor on here as well, so you can monitor the oxygen levels inside your blood. That's particularly good for sleep monitoring, and also if you've got any underlying conditions or anything like that. As for the rest of the specs, well, it's a Kirin A1 chipset packed in here, designed specifically for wearables by Huawei. So certainly touchwood so far seems to be reasonably nippy, just like the original Watch GT2. The occasional tiny little stutter here and there, but it's early days, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be nice and smooth once it kind of settles down a bit. You've got the same size battery as the 46mm Huawei Watch GT2 in here as well, so you'll get a couple of weeks of use on a full charge. Of course, that will depend on what settings you've got active. So for instance, if you've got the standby display active, then that will eat up a little bit of the battery life as well. So you should still get a full week of use, even with standby watch face active, even with plenty of fitness tracking on the go and everything like that. So definitely solid for a smartwatch. So as you can see, beyond the design and the asking price, not much difference at all between the Huawei Watch GT2e and the original Watch GT2. Basically, you got the same setup, same notifications alert, same software and everything, same performance, same battery life, same gorgeous AMOLED display. So what are your thoughts on the Huawei Watch GT2e? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. It'd be great to hear from you, and stay tuned. Hopefully be able to get a full review of this bad boy up in a couple of weeks time, and please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. Cheers everyone, love you.